Good evening. The time is now 5 o'clock. I call this meeting of the Granbury Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections. 551.071, private consultation with board attorney. 551.074, discussion of officers, employees, and personnel matters. 551.076, considering the deployment, specific occasions for, or implementation of security personnel or devices. The time is now, okay. I am removing 551.071, private consultation with board's attorney. The time now is 5:01. Thank you. The time is now 6 o'clock, and I reconvene the board in open session, and we will begin with an invocation. Please bow your head with me. Heavenly Father, be with our students as they take their STAR tests. Give them peace and confidence to do their best. May they know that their worth is in our eyes and yours is not based on one test, but in the fact that they are beautifully made by you. Lord, bless all these students and staff that we will honor here tonight for their accomplishments. And lastly, Father, give us here on the board wisdom to make the best decisions for our students, our staff, and our community. And I pray all these things in your Son's precious name. Amen. Oops. And now we have our pledges, being led by Robertson Early Learning Academy. Please stand up. Okay, let's get on this side.
Okay, before we begin, I'm Ms. Lambert, principal at Emma Robertson, and I wanted to introduce my students, teachers. We have Dana Ranke, and we have Dory Willie, and we also have a lot of their family here to hear them. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
I am Emily from Miss Willie's class. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Bennett. Hi, my name is Bennett.
Hi, my name is Bennett.
From Miss Ranke's class.
From Miss Ranke's class. Please join me in the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Good job. Okay.
You all can sit back down again. And do we have the wonderful parents of these two sweethearts? If you could wave, please. Oh, was it really? All right, let's move on now to our achievement spotlight. The first one, Sandy Sermarini and Shelley Kritzinger are for the state qualifying unified robotics teams from STEAM Academy.
Thank you, Board of Trustees and Dr. Glenn. We are so proud to be able to present to you all the two teams who made it to the state tournament this year for Unified Robotics. And I'm going to turn the program over to Sandy, and she's going to tell you just a little bit about the program and introduce our coaches who will introduce our kids.
Thank you, board, for having us again. We were here last year introducing our pilot unified robotics team, and last year we only had 3 teams, and this year we were able to double in size to 6 teams. And this year we had 2 teams at the STEAM Academy at Membrino, one at Acton Middle School, one at Granbury High School, and 2 over at Granbury Middle School. And this year we were invited from Special Olympics to go down to Austin as a showcase event that was unified robotics only teams. And so all 6 of our teams were able to go down there for that competition. And then we had 2 teams that actually advanced on to state competitions in Dallas and Garland. And so we're here to highlight those 2 teams today, but I also want to give a quick recognition to Megan Gonzalez. She is our Special Olympics Unified Champion advocate and sponsor for us, and she does great things for our district, so she's here to cheer on our teams. And to get us started is over at STEAM Academy at Membrino. We've got Coach Justin Burton to give awards for our team here.
All right, the first one, Finn Burton. Stay right here. Stay right here. And we have Brantley Kelly. And Alem Webb. And I am just gonna throw a little bit in real quick. These guys had very little time to prep and get ready for the tournament. The robot was built, mainly finished up right before we went to the tournament, and they had barely driven it and went and took first place at the tournament down in Austin to qualify for state. So I'm super proud of these guys because how well they did with how little time they had to prep for it. So super proud. Thank you guys. You guys are great.
And next we have Coach Daniel Cifuentes and Coach Aaron Wright from Acton Middle School. And our students over at Acton Middle School are Aaron Hebinger. Okay, got it, sorry. Gavin Hutchison and Layla Kowalewski and Brian Valerio. Okay, one big group. Oh, do you want to say anything too? Coach? Okay.
I guess so. This is me and Coach Wright's first year doing robotics, and so just being with these guys, we're super blessed. They work super hard, and they qualified through the Judges Award at the Special Olympics competition in Austin, and so through that we got to go to state and had a lot of fun. So I really also want to say to Sandy for all the hard work she put in with organizing everything across all the campuses, getting all the transportation, everything set up for us to be able to go to Austin, getting all the requirements we had to go through behind the scenes since it's our first year coaching, and just her taking over kind of and getting everything set up for us. I mean, the work she put in, she's not going to say it, but if it wasn't for her getting everything organized, then it would be almost impossible for us to do this. So Sandy was awesome, and thank you very much, Sandy, for all the work you put in.
While they're getting the picture taken, I'd like to have some parents standing up and waving. You all have done a great job with these kids.
All right, y'all look here, ready?
Do not trip over me. Oh, wait, I'm not.
I get it, guys. Let me get one. Let me zoom out of this. Excellent job, all of you.
All right, our next presenter is Melissa Shipp to present Sydney, is it Burham?
Burham.
Burham, okay, thank you.
Here, where is she?
Good evening, Board. Dr. Glenn, thank you for your time tonight. I wanted to give a shout out to Sydney tonight. It will be really quick, but Sydney was one of our occupational therapy interns this year. She then turned para because she didn't get enough of Mambrino and decided to finish out her year with us after her internship ended. And the coolest part about it is she and Sandy came to me and said, you know, Sydney's worked a lot with the kids that are in the motor lab, and the motor lab needs some sprucing up and upgrades, and she would like to share some ideas with you. I'm like, great, thinking she's going to just talk to me. No, she had a full presentation with photos, links to all the items, the way to make the room amazing for our kids. And not only that, but she said, I would like to volunteer my time to do it for Mambrino. So in her weekend time, because she's working, she has been up at Mambrino, and in the evenings, her and Sandy have been working together to spruce it up. It's not quite done yet, but her vision is definitely coming to light, and the kids are loving it, and the atmosphere is just completely different than it was, and we love that room for our kids anyway, but just to see a spin on it from somebody from the outside and their perspective looking in with working with the kids. So we are very proud of you, and she will be leaving us. She's going to PT school, and so she will not be with us next school year, and we're very sad about that, but we are so excited about the legacy that she's leaving, and we look forward to taking a photo of her with our kids in the motor lab and hanging it on the wall. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much. All right, our next presenter is Priscilla Lumbreras.
Hello, everyone. It's me again. So I came to share results for the science fair. From Granbury High School, we have Shanice Gibson. Her research was on teacher stress as a result of all the things that they deal with. She placed, she placed fourth in the behavioral category at the Fort Worth Regional Science Fair. Then we have Lainey Matthews, whose research centered around how to help burned fields, especially here in Granbury, where we have a lot of ranchers and a lot of agriculture. Whenever you have fields that get burned with all the wildfires that we had. So she actually created, and I can't say because she's still working on it, she created a concoction that actually helps all that greenery and all that nature come back faster. And so she placed fourth at regional. She was invited to present at state, and at state she placed sixth in her category. Up next, also from Granbury High School, we have Santiago Lumbreras, and his research was on using non-Newtonian fluids to help impact on the brain, especially in football helmets. He placed second in the physics category, and he placed sixth at state. And last but not least, from Acton Middle School, we have Paola Lumbreras. She placed first in her category. Her research is looking at how embryos are affected when a pregnant mother vapes. She identified a gap in the research. Not very many people were studying this. She placed first in her category. She is the best in the Fort Worth Middle School Regional Fair. And then she placed fourth at state. Recently, she was also invited to be a part of a group of 32 middle school students from the whole nation. And she is going to Maryland to go do a week of just intensive research and learn from other STEM professionals. So she is one of 32 in the whole nation to be chosen. Thank you so much.
And while they're getting their picture taken, do we have any proud parents in the audience who would like to wave for me? All right, our next presenter is Coach Leah Haley. As we go dark.
We did. We went up against Black.
Good evening, y'all. Thank you so much for this opportunity to honor these amazing Granbury High School students. I'm Leah Haley, just one, because we're going to let Coach Ballou talk too. I have the very proud coaches that was blessed to coach these girls this season. All 4 of these girls competed in the 5A Division I state powerlifting meet in March, and that is the most that we've ever had compete in state in powerlifting in program history. Freshman Kat Goodner, wave to everybody, thank you. She is only the 2nd freshman to ever qualify in program history. Sophomore Estrella Diaz, who in addition to being a regional champion this year, is also the first female lifter to medals at state since 2009. She placed 4th overall. We were really excited to see her on the podium. Junior Daisy Villegas, who dropped down a weight class, which she's small, I don't know if you can tell. So dropping down an additional weight class is no easy feat, and she did that in order to risk a chance to get to state, and she did it. And senior Bella Garcia, who this was her first season to ever compete in powerlifting, and she made it to state. We sure wish that we could have her for a few more years. So all of these young ladies, including Bella, even though her career is complete, are currently in the weight room pretty much every day getting ready for next season, because powerlifting season is year-round, pretty much. So let's give a hand to these strong young women who make GISD better in every way.
Hello. These 3 guys right here are extremely strong, dedicated young men that have been lifting not just this year, but for 3 and 4 years of their career, and their hard work has finally paid off. This is Rylan Burnish, Davin Jones, and Enrique Sanchez. And with all 3 of these guys qualifying for state, that set a record for us. That's the most we've ever had on the boys' side as well as on the girls' side. So we had a really strong year this year. And we set 11 different records at Granbury for powerlifting, and these 3 gentlemen right here are responsible for probably 8 or 9 of those. So extremely, extremely proud of the work they put in. They come up and lift over Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, when all their friends are off doing stuff, and they're really putting the work in, and so it really showed. So thank you guys very much.
Congratulations. And while those pictures are being taken, do we have any proud parents out there? You can raise your hand.
All right, here we go. Look here.
While they leave, I do just want to say how much we do appreciate the parents and what they sacrifice and do to allow these kids to be the outstanding students that they are. So really, thank you parents so much for the time, dedication that you put in to making these students so great. And we are going to now move on to our Schottenkirk Senior of the Month. Brian Thomas is here today.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Thompson. I'm here and I'm proud to announce Ava Gardner has been nominated as the Schottenkirk Senior of the Month for April. Ava's a hardworking senior at Granbury High School. She's already been accepted into the Mays School of Business at Texas A&M University this fall. Ava stays busy with extracurricular activities like Student Leadership Council, Junior Optimist Club, Track and Field, and National Honor Society. She's dedicated herself to varsity cheerleading for the last 3 years and varsity cross country for 2 years. She also ranks in the top 10% of her class and aims to be even higher for the top 25. When not focused on academics and school activities, Ava enjoys giving back through volunteering in the local community. She's an active member of the Granbury Baptist Church and referees for the Granbury Athletic Association basketball games. So congratulations to Ava.
And I do believe I saw a Garner out there somewhere. There we go. All right, next we have Ms. Tammy Clark with the LEAP Academy graduates.
Good evening. Thank you, board, for having me. I'm excited to honor our LEAP Academy graduates. LEAP stands for Leadership Experiences for Aspiring Professionals. These are our instructional specialists, teachers, assistant principals, or district personnel who want to give of their own time so that they can experience some deeper dives into what district level and campus level leadership looks like. We provide them quality learning and coaching experiences with a focus on individual and organizational growth. That we hope that they gain more depth of knowledge in both campus and district leadership through 8 different sessions. To be honored tonight, they had to attend 6 of the 8, and after they had attended 3 sessions, they were assigned a half-day shadow experience with a professional of ours so that they could see, and we tried to match them with what they were looking at pursuing as far as leadership growth for themselves. They've attended at least 6, like I said, dedicating their time and energy to their own professional growth and learning more about GISD. We're grateful for the leaders of our district who presented or hosted their colleagues to show the details about their everyday activities and duties. Our GISD leaders take a team approach to learning and growing and improving our practices together for students and families. So please help me honor the following professionals for LEAP Academy for 23-24. Starting with Miss Leah Archer. It's an alpha order. And then there, and then in the middle. Tiffany Biggs. Jennifer Bloodsworth. Haley Briggs. Meredith Brummer. Andrew Dunn. Perfect. Kelly Epler. Tiffany Ferrer. Karen Garcia. Lana Green. Liz Howard. Tana Lucky. Jairo Martinez. Lauren McNeil. Mallory Myers. Tanya Patterson. Meredith Payne. Julie Sellers. Jason Shahan. Stephanie Slimak. And Michelle Winters. Thank you all for your dedication to GISD. Let's get a photo.
We get some people in the back, we can.
Maybe you're not expecting.
Hey, and just a quick word while everybody's sitting here looking at the LEAP Academy. This is our largest cohort that we've had since we started the LEAP Academy. I guess probably about 6 years ago. And when we talk about growing our own administrators in the district, it starts right here with the dedication and hard work of these individuals. They put in a lot of hours. They did a lot of research. As Ms. Clark said, they spent time shadowing administrators in the district because they have a deep desire to help grow within our district. And so it's definitely something we take seriously. And as you look across our district, it is littered with administrators who started right here at the LEAP Academy. So we're proud of each and every one of these individuals and the work that they put in this year to make this accomplishment possible.
All right. We have one spotlight left that I look forward to. It is the Lamar Awards, and we have the Masonic Lodge reps, Dudley Raybon and Roger Gaines.
Dr. Glenn, members of the board, thank you very much. We appreciate you giving us a little bit of time. To all of y'all, I'm sorry, you're going to see this side more often. It's set up, I can't help it. Just real quick, I want to give a little information so those in the back will know what's going on. In education, most of y'all may or may not know the history of education in the state of Texas. You would not be sitting where you are in the board and as the president, the superintendent, if it were not for the Masons. In the state of Texas, we began education. Most of the facilities were done in Masonic lodges, and most educators were paid through fundraising activities of the Masonic Lodge. And when we look through the history of it, there's some that some of y'all are not old enough to know, even in the history reference, but I'm going to throw them out there anyway. Some famous Masons would be Sam Houston, Anson Jones, Lorenzo de Zavala, James Fannin, William Travis. How about George Washington, Teddy Roosevelt, Harry Truman, my favorite, Burl Ives, great singer. But they were all Masons, and there were several others. And if you look at some of the old comedy teams, Laurel and Hardy, Masons. And so it's a lot of fun that we've been so broad. But Masonry originally started in England during the days when they were building the great cathedrals, and in France and Europe. And they were a guild, and the guild had different stages for learning and control. And it proceeded to where now we are the extension of that. We're what's called the esoteric work. We are operative, but we're not operative, we're the other one. And we do not have a secret organization. A lot of people are, they're secret Masons. Nothing about us is secret. We're going to advertise. We're going to let you know where we are. Most of you may or may not know that we give annually throughout the United States $365 million to education throughout this country. May not know, but 4 of the 7 or 8 burn hospitals are funded totally by Masons and Shriners, which are an extension of our organization. So we're very busy with philanthropic work, and that's a very important part of it. And the biggest deal is we want to give men the opportunity to work with men and become better at what they are. The old biblical saying is it takes a man to sharpen steel to sharpen steel. It takes men to make men better. And that's no difference to females. It is simply a logic that does work. And we encourage that and work on that a great deal. The Lamar Award is in honor of our second president of the state and nation of Texas, Maribou Lamar. And he was an unusual human being. He was very big on education, did not like the public education system that he was raised in Georgia in the 1800s, and became a self-educated man. World-class education by seeking out teachers to teach him. And when he moved to Texas, he came in here as a businessman, as a politician. Due to the death of his wife, he went back to Georgia. While he was there, we had a little event here called the Alamo and Goliad. He came back and was a private in the Army, and due to his success on the battlefield, they made him a colonel. Then he was the vice president, the first voted vice president of the nation of Texas, second Texas president. During his time as president, very big on education. And some of y'all may have heard of 2 little schools he gave the land grant to. They're not real big, but right now they're in competition. Again, imagine that. How many of y'all have heard of Texas Tech or Texas A&M? Hey, easy. Stephen F. Austin is now Texas Tech affiliated. So, the money and stuff, education is very important. And the fact that he financially was not a great business manager is secondary. His focus was education. He wanted to be sure people had a chance to learn. And so he faced hardships. He lost a wife, he lost kids, he did a lot of things, but he always put education at the front of what he did because he believed if you were not educated and prepared, you could not contribute and sustain. And so with that, being the fact that we had hardships and everything else, we go through a process every year that teachers and parents can nominate and vote for students or other faculty members they think are honorary of that acknowledgement. And so we have 3 tonight that we'd like to acknowledge. The first is Quinn King. Ms. King is known for her ability to spearhead various initiatives in the local community. Come on up, Quinn. And Quinn, she was real big at organizing and helping with the summer meals programs. She's delivered food to over 30 families. She was involved with the Salvation Army's Ringing the Bell activity, which that's a very huge deal. She gave over 200 hours of her time to help food drives and food banks, and she read to the kids in elementary school and worked with books, over 200 books to first graders during her time doing these things. She's done a lot of things to help students learn how to learn, and for that effort, we wanted to reward her with a couple of things. A little certificate, and I'll do this for each of them, but I'll read this one. The Marabou B. Lamar Award, the second president of the state of Texas, has been called the father of Texas public education. For leadership in establishing quality public education in Texas, Lamar was a member of the Masonic fraternity, known then as it is today for its strong support of excellence in public schools. With this award, we recognize your exemplary achievement, and our warmest congratulations to you and your school district. So here's your certificate. This medal has a place on the back. It has her name on it. It's very specifically her work being awarded, if I may. Our second awardee that we were astounded with is Andrew Nickel. Andrew Nickel had a very difficult thing. Come on, Andrew. Andrew faced challenges in his home and personal life, his academic life, but during all of those challenges that he faced, following difficulties that were brought about by situations none of us want to share in, sorry, but you've done an incredible job of dealing with it. He is, I don't understand it all. I do know what entomology is, though. Forensics is a lot of fun. Study of bugs. It's cool. Yeah. I knew what it was. A retired forensics teacher, okay? He placed real well in the state on the ag quiz. He does range work. He's got a reserve grand champion at the Fort Worth Stock Show. Very awesome there. And he's also did the engineering for F1. I don't know what that is.
Formula, like race.
Oh, Formula cars. Okay, I'll talk to my brother-in-law. And he did well with that. So all of that. Excellent job. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'll get through shake hands. And the next one we have is Jonathan Hutchinson. And Jonathan, now this is one of the places where we go. Jonathan. Thank you, sir. 3 years A honor roll. Do you have a life? Yeah. Okay, so we got JROTC, we've got national championships, we've got physical fitness, we've got A honor roll 3 years in a row. He's done a lot of things with leadership in the JROTC program. He's also National Honor Society, HOSA, Future Health Professionals, and UIL Science, Student Council, Superintendent's Council, and he's also got a dad that's a, is your dad here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Please. State Trooper, thank you very much. Appreciate that. So, and you own medal, and you put some up, if I may, please. Thank you. I'm going to go over there and shake their hands, and I want y'all, the incredible often going through different trials and stuff and still doing education at its best. Thank y'all very much. Shake their hands.
And as those students are having their picture taken, if their parents would stand up so we may honor them, please. now finished with my favorite part of any of our board meetings, is going through all of these accomplishments and what our students are doing, what our staff is doing. To me, it's the perfect way to start any of these board meetings. But we must move on to the business of the school district. And with that, we will start with this superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank all of our sponsors, some of whom are probably now watching online, but we appreciate them being here. A lot going on this week. STAR testing is in full effect in Granbury ISD, so I know many of our teachers and principals are busy with that. I want to talk a little bit about some recognitions. Congratulations and a shout out to our softball team on making the playoffs. Girls golf went to regionals this past weekend. Had kids at the regional track meet, boys and girls. So shout out to Coach Brown, Coach Adams, and one student even advanced on to the state track meet, which will take place in 2 weeks. UIL academic team. These are all kids and sponsors we'll probably see next month. But the UIL academic team finished second in district. But what's amazing is accounting took places 1, 2, 3, and 5. And also I see our ROTC commanders in back, Colonel Casey and First Sergeant Rositas. They were in Alabama at a shooting match last week and took first and second place, which kind of seems unfair to the other teams. But we appreciate what they do. Our president said other teams are getting used to it, so congratulations, guys. Also, shout outs. I see our new athletic director, Coach Moore, in the front. Shout out to him. I know he is working on setting up communications for parents as we begin to recognize athletes through all programs on social media through a new platform, and also he is revamping our district website. Glad to have him in the audience. Thank him for his hard work. Just a reminder to all trustees and those people in the audience, May is a busy month, so we're going to do STAR testing the next couple of weeks, and then May hits, and it is going to be fast and furious. We have the employee banquet, scholarship night, graduation for stars in the high school, top 25 banquet, and then numerous athletic banquets as well. So we'll hope you go onto our district website. We have all of those events posted and want to make sure that the community, teachers, staff, and of course our trustees are invited to those things. Also, a final reminder that early voting started today, and so early voting can be done at the Acton Methodist Church or at the Hood County Annex 1 from 8 to 5 this week, 7 to 7 Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then Election Day is May 4th. And Madam President, that is the monthly report. Any questions I can answer for you or the trustees?
I don't see anyone doing anything but shaking their head no, so I think we're done. Thank you very much, Dr. Glenn. Okay, moving on to public comment. I'm going to read the statement that I have read the last few months, just to make sure everybody is aware. To better serve the students and staff and communities throughout GISD, individuals who wish to address the board during the public comments portion of the board meeting are required to register online. The form can be found on the GISD website under the School Board and Board Meetings tab. If anyone lacks the technology necessary to complete the online submission form, they can call the GISD Administration Building or complete the form in person at the Granbury ISD Administration Building. Registration will be open at the time the meeting agenda is posted, which is typically 5 p.m. on Friday before the meeting or 72 hours prior to the start of the meeting. Registration will close at noon on the day of the meeting. Please understand that in accordance with Texas law, the board is not able to respond directly to comments or questions posed by the speakers during public comments. Therefore, Granbury ISD staff members will review all submissions and, if necessary, reach out to seek resolution or additional information prior to the meeting. Since the board cannot deliberate on any subject that is not included on the agenda, the board has scheduled quarterly special meetings to hear non-agenda items. The venue will allow the board to have open discourse with the public and work to resolve issues through the many programs and experts within the district. In this new venue, we could discuss, I was giving an example. The next quarterly special meeting is scheduled for, and we've changed the date, so please listen, Monday, May 13th at 5 p.m. in the Granbury ISD Administration Building. We had scheduled it for Memorial Day, which doesn't make any sense at all. So I have moved it up 2 weeks. So it'll be on Monday, May 13th. Now, going on to public comments. We have 3 that signed up today. All 3 signed up for item 11B concerning the Forward Training Center. And our first person up is Janine McGregor.
My name is Janine McGregor, Ms. Mack, an award-winning GED teacher who worked at Forward Training Center from 2020 to 2023 under a contract with Denton ISD. Denton ISD recently announced that they will not have the Hood County GED grant as of this June 30th, so Forward Training Center will have to have a new contract, if any. I want to address 2 topics: integrity of numbers submitted by Forward Training Center, request for funds and support, and treatment of GED students, both physically abled and disabled. I did not go looking, but the following truths fell in my lap, revealing a pattern. The success of my GE students was exceptional and surpassed the district's average. This data was used on more than one occasion by Forward Training Center in regard to grant applications. Then in the fall of 2022, as a new grant application was being made, the Forward Training Center director told me that my accurate success numbers would have to be adjusted and tweaked. Fearing fraud, I reported the incident to an outcry witness who stated that the same thing happened to them. The 2023 report in my hand was found as trash on the floor during cleanup. It shows the Forward Training Center board report with an inaccurate number of GED students served by Forward Training Center, about 3 times the actual amount. On March 14th, 2023, at a county commissioners meeting, the Forward Training Center director asked for money but falsely reported a number that was 2.5 times the actual number those served. I know because I was in charge of the wrong numbers. Whether through deception or just incompetency, the IRS considers this fraud. The relationship between GISD and Forward Training Center is very political. Past school board member McDonald is on the board of directors of Forward Training Center, the place where election signs for Townsend and McDonald were delivered and picked up. Forward Training Center director and GISD Townsend were involved in politically based false accusations that disrupted the GED classes. I have the emails as proof. I have received a letter from past President Harrington representing the GISD school board. In her opinion, without discussion with all board members or having an agenda item, she gave Townsend and the Forward Training Center all clear. Yet no one here asked my students what happened, and no one has asked for the emails. Then Forward Training Center had Denton ISD close my GED class because, as trained, I was refused to move my severely handicapped students to an unsafe outer building. The Hood County safety officer versed in TEA requirements verified my position. No one seemed to care. My class was canceled. My students were left hanging with GED completion deadlines ahead. Some community members helped me lead most of the rejected students to success. One is now in college on the honor roll. Forward Training Center hurt my GED students with their antics. Before you ask the public to accept your relationship with Forward Training Center, I suggest a required, thorough audit as well as on an integrity checklist for GISD and Forward Training Center. Thank you for your time.
Next up is Lori Lilly.
Good evening, Board. I first want to thank you tremendously for educating, supporting, and caring for our youth. I have been working with Forward Training Center for 6 years now, but we are introducing some new ideas, new ways of thinking, and I believe Jim is going to be presenting the overview, but I'm going to just take the part that I feel is very important for our STAR students. We change lives, and we see what the students can be. We let them know in the beginning the class is all about them. And as we do this, it's about hope and dignity. Well, I found that, okay, they have to really, they can't do what they can't see. And so for them to see, they really need to have the opportunity to meet people, to have resources. So I have spent time in, excuse me, in doing that. And as I look through the resources, I found this is kind of hard to find for each individual, the different things that they need. Well, so as I was called it dialing for resources. And so I decided, well, let's look at a, what should I say, a community resource document. I met with United Way, and we collaborated together on, okay, how can we bring these resources to the community? And what I discovered was, well, we need a website. So we're working on that, and we're working at bringing a task force with other nonprofits to be able to really identify and work together to bring those to each student. And we're very, very successful, and we want to continue that. Thank you.
And our last public comments will be by Mr. Jim Lilly.
Thank you, Madam President. Trustees, Dr. Glenn, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight about Forward Training Center and the work we do to transform the lives of citizens of Hood County. For those not familiar with our work, Forward Training Center provides a robust, well-rounded catalog of educational programs ranging from computer basics and financial literacy to CAD and Cisco network administration. Our signature programs are Jobs for Life for adults of all ages and Powered for Life, which is tailored for high school students. These are the two programs we're looking forward to sharing with the students, their parents, and the staff of GISD. We have offered Powered for Life as an elective to the STARS Accelerated High School and Premier High School for the past 3 years, and have positively impacted the lives of numerous young people. We look forward to a similarly successful partnership with Granbury High School in the future. We are an independent, self-funded 501c3 nonprofit organization and are a proud partner of the United Way of Hood County. All of our programs are free to the participants. We at Forward Training Center envision a world where families and communities are thriving through meaningful work and economic independence. Our mission is to transform Hood County communities through education, collaboration, and hope. We work to instill the values of faith, healing, integrity, personal empowerment, transformation, and community. Why do we do what we do? We believe that everyone has a special purpose designed by their Creator. Everyone has value. Everybody has a future. Everybody deserves a chance. And everybody has a responsibility. In summary, our board, staff, and volunteers are happy and eager to offer a supplement to the already established, highly successful, and award-winning curriculum offered to the students of Granbury High School. Thank you for your time, attention, and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. And that closes up our public comments, and we move now to action on items discussed in closed session. Dr. Glenn?
Thank you, Madam President. You have before you the staff recommendations, and we'll start by asking approval for the extension of the probationary contracts as presented by the Human Resources Department and Director Wes Jones.
Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Gore. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All those in favor, raise your hand. And that is unanimous.
Perfect. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for allowing me to take these out of order as well. Now you have your personnel report in front of you. It includes the resignations for this month as well as the appointments of professional staff to the district. Specifically, I want to point out one individual who is with us tonight, he and his family, Coach Jeremy McFerrin, who is going to be named head boys basketball coach for the Granbury Pirates tonight. Coach McFerrin, you want to stand up? So. Excited to have a coach and his family with us tonight, and so with your approval, we'd like to recommend him tonight along with the other personnel in this report as presented by HR Department. Coach McFerrin comes to us from Plano West, and so we're excited to have him joining the Pirate family. And here in just a second, I know our Director of Communications would love to get a family photo, and we'd like to just take a brief pause to say hello, if that's okay. So, Madam President, it's the administrator's recommendation that you approve as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve? I'm sorry, did someone motion to approve and I missed it?
Oh, okay. Madam President, I move that we approve these recommendations as presented to us by HR.
Thank you, Ms. Lana.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wimberly. All those in favor, raise your hand. And that's 7-0. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Coach. If you and your family want to come up here, we'd love to take a quick photo. Get Mr. Robinson and Coach Moore in the photo as well. Coach Moore.
1, 2, 3, hold it. Beautiful. All right, Coach, Jimmy. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Coach, we'll be seeing you. All right, thank you, Madam President. Coach, congratulations. Glad to have you and your family here. Just real quick, you won a state championship. Where was that at?
Trinity Christian in Lubbock.
Trinity Christian in Lubbock. And what year?
In 2017.
2017. No pressure, but we can expect this next year, maybe a year after. 2 years. All right. Hey, we're glad to have you, and you have a wonderful family. Look forward to meeting them as well. Congratulations. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Madam President, just one other item of business tonight from closed session, and that is Bronner Elementary and Mambrino Elementary underwent their intruder audits this month, and I am proud to once again say that our district passed with flying colors. So out of 10 possible audits, we've had 9 completed, and we've got a perfect score so far. The only campus that has not received an intruder audit is Bacchus, and we do expect that before the end of the school year. So congratulations. I know we have 3 marshals in the room tonight, led by our Chief Wade Clark and our Deputy Chief John Miller. So we appreciate you guys very much. So, and you as well, Sloboda. And no action necessary on that.
Thank you, Dr. Glenn. Okay, next up, we have our consent agenda items. Are there any items in there that you would like to pull out for discussion?
Madam President, I'd like to pull out item 10E, budget amendments.
All right. Are there any other items to be pulled out tonight? All right, Ms. Gore, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Every board meeting, I have the honor of recognizing the community support that we receive and the donations we receive from our community. And every month, I think, wow, this is amazing. It just doesn't get better than this. And every month, I'm surprised by the support. It's just overwhelming, and I'm honored to be able to recognize the different organizations and people that support this amazing school district and our amazing students. With that, I would like to recognize the Lady Volleyball Booster Club that they donated to the Lady Pirate Volleyball Campus activity account to supplement their travel to Florida in the amount of $17,078.95. Also, donations from Oakwoods PTO for musical tickets in the amount of $1,087. Donations from Stonewater Church to the Stars High School campus activity account to supplement travel in the amount of $494. Donations from DHS Stowaway Booster Club to the student activity account for the banquet transportation in the amount of $200. Donation from Richard Afonso to the GHS Auto Tech program in the amount of $180. Donation from First Financial Services to Junior Optimist Club student activity account for $220. Donation from Lake Granbury Optimist to Junior Optimist Club for athletic freezer donation and also to supplement road maintenance at the senior center in a total, both of those combined, for $710. Donation from Thomas V. Giddens Jr. Foundation to the MCJROTC campus activity account to support the program in the amount of $40,000. Donation from Midway USA Foundation to the MCJROTC student activity account to support the GHS rifle team in the amount of $2,737. And a donation from an anonymous donor to the MCJROTC student activity account in support of the program for $25,000. That is a total of donations from our community and different organizations and individuals for a total of $87,706.95. Thank you.
I am continually amazed at the generosity of this community, and I just can't thank them enough. And it also, I believe, means that our community feels that we're doing the right thing with our kids. And so I appreciate that. So with that, I ask for a motion to accept the consent agenda items.
Madam President, I move that we approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
And I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Gore. All those in favor, raise your hand. 7-0, unanimous. Thank you very much.
And I know typically I don't point out stuff on consent agenda, but I know a lot of teachers watch from at home. In the consent agenda tonight, there was a calendar change that turns the last day of school into an early release day. So I know that's important to our staff, no one else probably. Probably kids too.
All right, we are now moving on to our discussion and action items. First up, consider approval of purchase of Beaver Fit workout station. Mr. Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, you do have the memo for the purchase of the Beaver Fit Performance Locker. It does have a quote on the back of it. The purchase of this was going to be done with donation funds. The purchase will be $63,575, and I would be amiss if I tried to explain to you what this locker was, but I do have Lieutenant Colonel Casey and First Sergeant Rosita's here if you have any questions.
Just got the donation, and it's burning a hole in your pocket.
I would like you to actually have one of you come up and kind of give us a rundown of what this does, because I'm just amazed at the picture I'm seeing in front of me.
Yes, ma'am. So I don't like to use a mic, so bear with me. I think I'm loud enough. But
Essentially what it is Beaver Fit designed a workout locker for military personnel when we would deploy overseas. So basically everything that we needed to work out was in a container, and it could be shipped. It could be put aboard ship and shipped over or flown over, however it needed to get into country. And then the service members would get everything out, conduct their workouts. When they were done, everything would go on back in the box, and it was able to come back. So it's the same concept here. We're just looking to do that for our cadets, something for them to call it their own, and also to help, alleviate some of the traffic in the weight room. So there's times in the weight rooms where you get 6, 7, athletic teams in there working out along with our kids. Our physical fitness team continues to grow. And so we get congested in the weight room. So hopefully having this piece of equipment will alleviate some of the traffic in the weight room. But it's a functional fitness, piece of equipment. So kids can do pull-ups, they can do weightlifting, they can do a lot of body weight stuff, and it's just really easy to access.
And- Go ahead. This is something that we lock up each night, and where are we thinking of putting this?
So right now, the discussions are putting it behind the bandstand, since there's already a fenced-in area there.
Okay.
Putting it there, we need a 26 by 28 space around the box, because it has some pull-up bars and riggings that are attached to it.
Okay.
So we've measured it off, and there's space there, and it's a secured area. So that's that's one course of action. Another course of action would be to put it next to the fenced-in area. There's a green space there that would require some laying of concrete and fencing around it. But
Okay.
hopefully we can put it in behind the bandstand there.
Excellent.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, and again, I see you and your cadets out there working every day, so it's definitely something you guys will utilize. I'm looking at everything on here. What is a landmine? Like, I recognize every exercise on here, but that one.
Yes, sir. So we have those inside the pavilion as well, inside the weight room. But essentially, it's a stationary. I don't put it in terms here. It's a piece of metal where you can put the weight bar inside, and you're pressing from the floor. So it's a place to put the weight bar on the floor, and you can do press.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Any other questions any of the other board members have?
This thing looks awesome.
Man, we're excited. We're excited. So.
Well, I think it's great, and just the fact that you had people in our community that were willing to donate enough money so we can have this is just, it just talks to the outstanding program that you have here. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, with that, do I have a motion to accept?
Madam President, I move that the board approve the sole source purchase from Beaver Fit North America per the attached quote as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Wimberly. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Gore. All those in favor, raise your hand. All right, 7-0. Thank you very much, board. Moving on. MOU with Forward Training Center for the provision of Jobs for Life and Powered for Life programs that empower employment and economic independence. Ms. Clark.
Thank you. So the mission for Forward Training Center is to educate, support, and inspire life-changing growth in men and women. And our partnership that they're seeking with us tonight aims to provide our GISD high school students and all parents and guardians of GISD the opportunity to engage with Forward Training Center and some meaningful educational programming on site, outside of the regular school day, or within the constraints of our accelerated learning environment at GHS. So Powered for Life is geared towards our high school students, and with parent permission, they'll engage in 2 sessions a week after school hours over the course of 8 weeks in the curriculum that focuses on overcoming roadblocks, conflict resolution, resumes, customer service satisfaction. I gave you a whole list. I'm not going to read it to you. The Jobs for Life is a voluntary adult program geared towards interested parents and guardians of GISD students or GISD staff. So 2 times a year, once in the fall and the spring, they would offer this course after hours for 8 weeks, 2 sessions per week, focusing on their Jobs for Life programming. And the opportunity for our students will be with parent permission, will not take away from their coursework or their studies. Our partnership is simply for an addition of resources for our students and families if they so choose to participate. and we will give them a space to do it. And if you read the MOU, you saw that we would also house some of their applications and provide that space for students to turn in applications and get them to them so that they would know the interest of our student body. So I have Monica Hayes here, the Executive Director, if you have any questions about Powered for Life or Jobs for Life specifically, but it is recommended that the board approve the MOU with Forward Training Center for the provision and administration of voluntary and Powered for Life programming for our high school students and Jobs for Life programming for all interested parents or guardians of GISD students.
In there, and I've already talked to you about it, but I think it's good for everyone to understand who are listening out there somewhere. What is a SOAR student, S-O-A-R?
So our SOAR lab, sometimes students come to us transferring in and they're lacking some credits, or sometimes there are students who have had some hard times, whether they're self-imposed or other, but have made them not successful in their classwork. And so our SOAR lab is an accelerated lab that they can take 1 or 2 credits or 3 credits and accelerate through an online program, much like we have at STARS, but get back on track and stay at GHS and be able to still participate in all of the things that GHS has. So that's for the student who doesn't want to accelerate all the way through. They might just need to get some credits there. So it's an accelerated learning environment within the constraints of GHS.
Thank you very much. Were there any other questions that anyone had?
And this
Yes.
will be made available to STAR students and their parents as well?
STAR students already have access to this as one of their electives as far as the Powered for Life. Jobs for Life, we're going to open up for any GISD student's parent. We'll just house it at the high school after hours. Once in the fall and once in the spring, giving them a space. So it's their programming, it's their people, it's our space and a program for our students and our families.
Thank you. Ms. Mallory.
Yes, ma'am, I have a few questions on this. I read it over thoroughly. I see that it's already been signed and approved by the superintendent on the 4th. Your signature back here on the back on the 4th.
Yeah, it's not, you're looking at an old copy. So until it's approved by the board, it's not going to go into effect.
Okay.
Yes.
What will be the additional cost to GISD for this program?
So, I mean, if you consider opening the facility an additional cost, that would be it. We're opening the facility for partnering with Forward Training Center and letting them use our space 2 times a week after school hours.
Okay, but we're going to need to be providing security and escorts, and we'll have extra administration.
The security is not absolutely necessary after school hours. That's not part of the House Bill 3.
And no escorts in and out of the building.
It would be after hours, so they would be responsible for their in and out of the building at that point.
We'll be locking up the building, and who's going to be?
We can either put it on the timer, or we could, there is rarely a day that the high school administration isn't there. So we'll just make sure that we're at a point where oftentimes there's after-school tutorials that are also in session. So it'll be a scheduling part on mine and Mr. Robinson's part to make sure that that's taken care of. Good question.
Has someone conducted a survey of the parents to determine their interest?
No, we have not.
Okay, how can we plan on how many people there's going to be and the interest in the numbers if we don't really have any idea?
So Forward Training Center I asked them about numbers, and I can have Ms. Hayes come up, but a lot of their classes are very, very small, and giving each person pretty much individualized, very small group attention. So even if it's a small group of people who are interested, we are just providing the opportunity.
Yeah, the high school holds more than enough. Can't imagine more than 2,000 kids are going to be interested. So we're going to have capacity for it. I think again, it's a niche program looking for kids that are just needing a little extra support. We've had a successful relationship with the Forward Training Center as it relates to STARS, and we'd like to continue the relationship moving forward. So in answer to your question, this right here, this document, typically they'll bring documents to me and I'll sign them, board gets approved, and Mr. Wimberly has a folder, and if it's executed by the board, then it moves forward. If it's not, then it's shredded. So hopefully that answers your question about the signature.
Thank you. That one
Do you
down.
want to add anything to that?
No, we had a similar start with the STARS program where it was we didn't know what the interest would be or what the numbers would be, and it just kind of grew from organically with the initial offering, and anticipate that this would go the same way. I would like to add, not exactly relative to this, but just to give kudos to Granbury ISD and the work that's already been done within STARS and Premier. The curriculum comes from Jobs for Life National, which is based in Raleigh, North Carolina, and has had such success here in launching the Powered for Life program in the manner in which it was intended, that both the principals from each of those schools were invited to attend a forum and meeting with the entire Raleigh, actually Wake Forest school district system to see how they might be able to implement that there because of the success that was held here. So it has done very well here and gotten national recognition within the Jobs for Life organization.
Yeah, I understand, and I looked it up and I read about it. It sounds very good, but if we're not going to have that many, especially initially, why are we going to open up the school district when Forward Training has their own building?
We are welcomed, I mean, we're happy to do that. We just thought it would be easier and more accessible for the students of the high school to do it here. So it was just more of a convenience accommodation for the students that might be interested and involved.
The students, I understand, but there is a portion of this that I read that says that the parents will be at the school and the students will be at Forward Training. Shouldn't that be the other way around?
Oh, not that I'm aware. I thought it was all at the school.
Well, the STARS will still be over at your building, right?
STARS are at our building, yes, and that's during the day.
Right.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday during the week.
Okay, so I guess if we're not going to have any security and it's going to be after hours and people can just walk into the building, then there won't be anybody going through the Raptor system?
After hours, we would not have people Raptor in.
So which is pretty common after hours.
Okay. Yeah. You know where I'm going with that, because I went in and called and told them I was coming in the summer during the day, and I had to go through the Raptor system. On page 28, on the background screenings, has GISD ever specifically defined what is a disqualifying criminal history?
That would be a West question.
Wes,
A
What's a
disqualifying.
disqualifying criminal history? Do we have any copy? Do we have a policy on that? What is it that would disqualify? Mm-hmm, yeah.
Turn your microphone on, Mr. Jones.
Are there, I guess, the felonies and things, those would be criminal histories that are automatically disqualified?
Yes, they would not be able to be hired.
Okay, and then, so Forward Training is going to provide background checks.
We do background checks on every single student and volunteer and staff member that comes through our door.
And do their background checks go with our background checks?
For our employees, yes.
It would be the same background checks for what they're doing as what you do?
As far as them teaching our students after school, I'm not sure.
It's a voluntary program.
Yeah.
So parents would be signing for them to be able to be a part of that. So Wes would not be responsible for any of the background checks. Forward Training Center is taking responsibility for the students during that time.
Have we looked at their background checks?
I have not looked at their background checks, no.
Okay. On page 28, parent participants with criminal histories are not prohibited. I understand this is a great program, and it's going to offer much-needed educational opportunities for our parents. I understand this conceptually. However, we need to be cognizant of our safety and security of our students and our property. We're going to have extra students there afterwards. We're going to have no security there. We're not going to have any escorts, people just kind of come and go as they want.
It would likely be in the library, so there would be like a start time. People would go together to the library with the teacher that Forward Training Center would have, and then they would all likely leave at the same time. So no, not having security, paid security for that time.
Okay, but depending on what these criminal histories are that we don't know, they will be involved in our schools and be in with our students, correct?
And we spoke at that at length, and they would be with them the entire time as a group. But if that's a disqualifier, we can take that part out, and they can just participate in Jobs for Life at the Forward Training Center.
Absolutely.
And so that would mean that we aren't going to have any additional responsibility requirements for the marshals or the staff.
Right.
For security, because there isn't any.
Forward Training Center is a district-owned building, correct? You're aware of that?
Yeah, that's
Okay. So it's okay that they meet there with, but you just don't want them in our high school?
If I think I understand correctly,
Is that it? I'm just trying to
I
make
still have
sense
two
of
more
this.
questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, please go. I'm ready.
yeah, these are good questions.
Yeah, they are.
Why are we assigning, other than I guess because it's part of GISD, the employees to keep the records over here? Why can't they just be kept with Forward Training?
They'll be kept with Forward Training. We're going to house the applications. So we're trying to make it easy for students who want to be a part of it and for counselors who think that that would be good for them to discuss it with their parents, have the applications there, send it home, receive the applications and push them on to Forward Training Center so that they don't have to go downtown to Forward Training Center's space to say, I'm interested in this program. So if everything is housed at the high school, we're thinking that it's a convenience and an ability to have a service for kids that may need that service and may want that service at the high school where they're already at. And if you have it after school, then maybe even take advantage of our transportation home and those types of things that we already have running, because we have those buses that run. So really making an opportunity for them to have this programming as an option if them and their parents desire, but in a place that's normal for them and that they're already at, that also we have transportation provided already that we're running home. So that's kind of the spirit of the ask.
So Tammy, to be clear, the parents are going to be at Forward Training Center for their
No, we thought
Jobs for Life.
they could also be at the high school, Jobs for Life at the high school as well, especially if there's if a parent and a kid were both wanting to go through this program and they were having it at the same time. It would be in 2 small rooms at the library, but then they could go home together. So-
I know some parents that have actually done the programs
Side by side.
simultaneously with their children. If I understand correctly, I think the concern, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Lowry, I think the concern might be that some of the parents, because that they are wanting to make it accessible to parents who might not otherwise have resources like this, that may have a criminal history. I think the concern is that some of those parents might be with some of our kids.
And that's a fair concern.
Yeah.
They would not be alone with our kids, but if that's something that you want us to strike from this MOU, then that's part of the
I think it would be
discussion.
easy to strike that and just move them all to Forward Training Center. And that seems like that would alleviate most of the concerns Ms. Lowry has. Is that correct?
Yes, for the safety and security of our students, yes.
Move all parent to,
I would move the entire program, keep it at Forward Training Center.
okay. Okay.
I have a couple of questions. Denton ISD pulled out of the program in June. Do we know why?
They're not out yet. It's a 5-year grant that they compete for, their words, and their term ends this June 30th, and are probably not going to compete for this area, but it will be transferred over to a different school district. But that's completely handled outside ISDs.
Okay, the last question I have, the Forward Training Center, have they ever been audited, their financials or their documentation for accuracy? Has there ever been an audit of the Forward Training Center?
Of the entire Forward Training Center?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hang on just a second.
Jim, can you answer that question?
We had an audit completed last December.
Okay.
Do we have any programs, I know, because I know personally of some parents that have gone through this with their child, that program currently is at Forward Training Center, not on any of our campuses, correct?
Not on any of the campuses, no.
And have y'all had any history of issues during your time doing this together with adults and some of the children as well?
None whatsoever. Like I said, the STARS comes over to our building simply because it's a convenient thing for them to do, and we do send people into Premier. So we're running both types of programs, but those are both with the Powered for Life programs. And then yes, we do have the adult Jobs for Life programs running during the same time frame.
And there's been no issues at Premier or any of the other places?
No, there have not.
How long have you been working with Premier?
3 years.
Thank you.
Tammy, one last question.
Yes, ma'am.
On it says the contract's going to be automatically renewed every year. Is there any paperwork that comes that says how we're doing with this or how many people are?
So we could ask them to come and do a report like often people do with the board, but that's a very common MOU to just continue it unless there's an issue that causes you to discontinue it. So there's a discontinue clause, and then you just give them writing within 30 days. That's a very common MOU language. And then if that doesn't happen, then it just automatically renews so that we don't have to spend time if it's not broken. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So it sounds like what we're looking at is a rewrite of the MOU.
Sure.
So why don't we have you go work on that and bring it back next month?
I'll bring it back in May.
Is there certain, I'm wondering if there's certain things that would come up in a background check that maybe we want to be more specific in our language, like if certain things are in the background check, then those parents aren't eligible to be on campus with our students. Otherwise, it's okay. Maybe that's what we need to look at doing, is being more specific with our words.
So that's something I would love to have direction on. Am I rewriting it to not be at GHS at all?
Yeah, I would strike. We'll strike the GHS, and then we'll get clarification on how Forward Training Center conducts their background checks.
Okay.
I think the whole purpose of this was, though, to make it accessible to the kids at GHS since they're already here.
Yes, but.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to get rid of, I would like to work, just try to find a compromise that works for everybody so that we don't have some board members that feel like we're putting our kids at risk, but we're still able to make this accessible to our kids. If there's a way that we can come to some agreement that works for everybody.
Well, that's why I would like to see them being able to at least do it with the SOAR students. You know, have someone come over and work with the SOAR students during the day.
So SOAR students, that was, the spirit of that was for capturing those kids that might have to work after school and that kind of thing that are in SOAR. That's going to be a very small number of students. But if that's where we want to start, I can rewrite it that way.
Well, what I like about that is that's bringing one person over that we can go ahead and do the background check we need to for someone that would be in with our students, have them there for that. And then we're following the same rules we do for everything else within our school district.
I'm also curious to see how many students and parents are going to sign up for this. And it may be that there's not enough space there at Forward Training Center, and we might have to look at this again, but I do think if it's a successful program, that they may not have enough space over there. But until we get the first group in there, we really don't know until that happens.
Any other discussion on this? Then I would like to move this to next month.
Okay.
And I do not believe, since there were no motions on the table, that anything needs to be done, and we'll just move it on to next month.
Okay, so now we have an MOU for Texas Women's University. This MOU provides an opportunity for any students from TWU in the Educator Prep Program to partner with GISD to complete their clinical student teaching experience and internship. It enhances our partnerships with our local universities to support future educators to complete their requirements for certification and graduation. We already have agreements with Tarleton. This just outlines exactly both parties' responsibilities when we're taking on student teachers with TWU, and we have one that would like to come here next fall. So it is my recommendation that the administration approve this MOU with Texas Women's.
And do we have any discussion? Are you over here? Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam President.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Kimberly, and all those in favor, raise your hand. And that is 7-0. All right. Mr. Whitefield, your turn.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, you do have the financial statements for the month ending March 31st, 2024. The statement includes only those transactions that have occurred between September 1, 2023 and March 31st, 2024. Revenue collected to date equals 83.52% of the budgeted amount compared to 91.03% in 22-23, and the expenditures to date represent 54.89% of the budget compared to 59% in 22-23. If you have any questions about those, I'd be glad to answer.
I'm good. All right, do I have a motion to accept? Oh, we don't have to do that, that's the report. Keep going, sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, you also have in front of you the cash flow and investment report for March 31st, 2024. You can see that month to date for March 24, we have raised $350,334.70 in interest. Last year at this time, we raised $327,743. And for a grand total, currently, we are at $1,400,607.10. Last year at this time, we're at $1,118,534.
Very good. All right, that finishes the work of the board this evening. The time is 7:35 p.m. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Board.